Thank you so much, Veronika, for being here with us today. You recently graduated with a PhD in English Applied Linguistics,
Mhm.
and you have been attending Psllt conference for the last couple of years. So, on behalf of the Psllt community, I would like to ask you some questions regarding your experience with Psllt so far. Is that okay?
Of course, I'm very pleased to be here. Thanks
Oh,
for inviting.
thank you. So, the first question has to do with how did you start attending Psllt? And did you hear about it in your program or somewhere else?
So I actually heard about Psllt from my MA supervisor back in 2014. And I think she learned about it via the Supras emailing list. And she then encouraged me to apply. That was my very first PSLT conference back then. And yeah, I was always very happy to join. So that's how I learned about it.
Great. Well, my second question is about what are the things that you get out of Psllt conference, and especially as a young researcher and practitioner now that you have recently graduated, and what makes you keep attending the conference almost every year?
Yeah, so I think one thing I really like about the conference is the wonderful atmosphere. It's a rather small, very, very friendly conference, and especially for young researchers who might find it a little bit intimidating, to go on very big conferences where you are easily lost in the crowd. It makes it a little bit easier to connect with other people, to approach other people. And I also always very much appreciated that it is a conference solely focused on pronunciation, because I feel that as a pronunciation researcher, sometimes you feel a little bit lost at other conferences, because very often there are, not that many talks about pronunciation or pronunciation related research. And I always felt very much at home topic wise, so that I felt, okay, really all the talks are interesting to me. And that is something that I really loved about the conference and always very much appreciated.
Yeah, that's true. And are there any highlights of the conference that you have experienced so far, like any remarkable memories?
Yeah, I actually have a very remarkable memory from 2019, um, which is also the conference when we two met.
Yes.
Apart, of course, first of all, I have very lovely memories just meeting people, and I think it's like, having flashbacks sometimes, but lovely flashbacks, that you remember this one moment when you had, lunch together, or at the conference dinner you were, connecting and having fun and meeting um, people, peers interested in the same topic, and having lovely social interactions. And on a more professional level, 2019 was very important for me because I had just applied for a spot in a special issue of the Journal of Second Language Pronunciation, and I hadn't gotten in. But the editor, John Levis, attended my talk at the conference, and it was actually the paper I had submitted for the special issue. And he liked my talk so much that afterwards he approached me and said, "Yeah, I liked your talk, and I still want to include it. It turned out I had just missed getting into the special issue by this much." And then
Wow.
he said, "I'm going to talk to the publisher and try to accommodate your paper, and make space for another paper." And I mean, that was, of course, a very, very exciting, important moment for me as a junior researcher. And I'm still so grateful to John Levis for being so kind and making such an effort to give me this chance, give me this opportunity, and believing in my work, showing my work. So that was a very important highlight for me.
That's great, and congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Well, my final question is about that if you have any suggestions for the ones who are attending to Psllt for the first time this year, and are there any things that they should not miss, for example?
So thank you for this question. So I would say, do not miss out on connecting with your peers and with others. I mean, I realize that this is a little bit more difficult this year with it being an online conference, but I suspect that the organizing committee is going to make an effort, and making great efforts to make some opportunities, provide some opportunities for networking and such. And I think it's really rewarding on both a professional and personal level to connect with other people interested in pronunciation research. And the second tip I would say is go to the teaching tips, even if you consider yourself more of a researcher rather than a practitioner. So for me, during the last years, I wasn't really teaching pronunciation. I was in the PhD program, and I still went to the teaching tips because I still always find them so inspiring, and I'm always so amazed by with the ideas that people come up with. And also, I think that it's important for us as researchers, for the people who consider themselves to be more on the research side of things, to see what the practitioners are concerned with at the moment, and to kind of get an insight on their point of view. And I think the teaching tips provide a very special, great opportunity for that.
Yeah, that's true. Well, thank you so much again, Veronika, for being here with us. And it's been a pleasure to interview you today. And we're looking forward to having you in the next conference in June.
Thank you so much. It has been my pleasure.
Okay, take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye.